And we are continuing to follow breaking news this morning. Glenbrook Middle School is closed today after a threatening message was found inside that building.
That's right. Western Mass News reporter Matt Price is live outside of the school with some more breaking details. Good morning again, Matt.
Good morning again, David and Amanda. We are just in front of Glenbrook Middle School, where no teachers and students will be on campus today as a result of what was found inside the building. I'll just get out of the way so you can see no one is here. No buses are dropping off kids. The parking lot is empty and the lights are off. No police cars are here right now. However, that could change throughout the day. What we can tell you is that around 2:35 Thursday afternoon, a student found a message on a wall inside one of the restrooms, and that message appeared to have shown some threatening language about future school violence. After that message was reported, Longmeadow police responded immediately and is currently working with Longmeadow Public Schools administration officials. Now, on Thursday, the school district superintendent, Marty O'Shea, sent emails to parents and the faculty and staff. One of them partially reads, "Police and school personnel are taking this matter very seriously. Students, parents, or caregivers or staff with information should contact the Longmeadow police." Then, shortly after 8:45 p.m., O'Shea announced that Glenbrook Middle School would be closed today as a precaution, saying in part, "Despite purposeful and tireless efforts by the Longmeadow Police Department and school administration, the investigation into this matter is not complete. To be clear, while we have no reason to believe that a genuine threat exists, we do not yet have the confidence to confirm that the school violence threat made at Glenbrook is a criminal hoax. Student and staff safety and a sense of security are of primary importance. Sadly, there are too many examples of school tragedies that could have been prevented with greater due diligence and investigation." Now, we should point out that all other schools within the district, they are on their regular schedules. However, there will be extra police on hand at each building to make sure that the day goes on safely and smoothly. Again, Glenbrook Middle School is closed today as a result of this threatening message that was found inside the building. As soon as we have any more details, we will certainly bring them to you. That's latest live from Longmeadow. Matt Price, Western Mass News.